Hey y'all, it's Miss A. Today we're moving on in Unit 4. This week we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting integers. And today we are focusing on doing that with counters, quote unquote counters. We're actually just going to be drawing positives when I have a positive number, and I'm going to draw negatives when I have a negative number. Depending on what the number is, I'll draw that many positives or negatives, and those are going to be my counters. Something really quick and simple that you could do on wherever you're at. Before we get started, make sure, I know you are all at home right now, please make sure you're taking notes and paying attention during this video, guys. If you just watch my videos 9 times out of 10, the lesson would be a whole lot easier when it comes to do the practice. But you've got to listen to me, pay attention to the video, ask questions at the end. If you do have any, you can contact me on Zoom. I'm available all day. But please ask for help if you don't understand something before you get to the assignment, guys. That's only the logical thing to do. The first thing we're going to talk about is a zero pair, okay? A zero pair is a pair of numbers with a sum of 0. A sum of 0. That should make sense, okay? A pair, 0 equals 0 is 0. What a zero pair looks like is what we're going to be looking for today is a positive. Whenever we put our counters down, we're looking for a positive and a negative together. Whenever we have a positive and negative together, they cancel each other out, making 0. Positive 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. That's why they cancel each other out. So you can literally cross them off whenever you have that in your visual. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Number 1. I'm only going to do a couple examples, I think 4. Our first example is a 4 plus a negative 4. 4 plus a negative 8. 4 plus a negative 8. Alright, so this parentheses here is just representing that this number is a negative number. It doesn't mean multiply, doesn't mean do what's inside of it first. It's just letting you know, hey, this 8 is negative. Don't get it confused with something else. Alright, the first thing that we notice here is that we have this plus and a negative sign back to back. I don't like that. We're never going to have, we don't want that to ever happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to circle them, because technically there's an imaginary 1 right here. Positive 1 times a negative 8. That's a whole other story. But what we're going to do here when these signs are touching back to back is we're going to use our triangle and we're going to combine them into one sign instead of 2. So positive and a negative make a negative. So these two signs are gone now, and I have a negative sign in its place. And then I'm going to bring down my 2 numbers. There was a 4 in front, and there's an 8 at the back. Now I'm going to draw them visually with my positives and my negatives. So my first number is 4. It is positive because there's nothing in front of it. There's no sign. So it's understood that it's positive. So I'm going to put 4 pluses. When you do this, you want to be nice and neat. Nice, neat, and organized. Alright, my second number is 8, but there's a minus sign in front of it, making that a negative 8. So I'm going to draw 8 negatives underneath here, lining up with the ones above it as much as I can. So negative 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'm done. That's all I have to do to visually model it. This is what you're going to see on IXL today. You're going to be given the visual only, and you're going to have to identify what the answer is. So once we have this visual done, now I'm looking for 0 pairs. So a positive and a negative make a 0 pair. You can notice here I have 4 of them. So all 4 of these are 0, so you can literally cross them off. And my answer is what's remaining. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 symbols. Every symbol was a negative, so my answer is a negative 4. It's that simple. That easy. Let's do a couple more though. Number 2 is, let's do negative 2 plus a negative 5. Negative 2 plus a negative 5. Again, this parentheses means that it's a negative number. Alright, but I do notice I've got a positive and negative back to back. I don't like those signs touching. So I'm going to use my triangle just like I did up here. And a positive and negative make a negative. So these 2 signs are gone, leaving me with a negative or a minus sign, and then bring down the numbers. This number, I didn't do anything with the symbol, so it's still a negative 2. This symbol is now gone though, and I just bring down the 5. And now we model it. We've got 2 negatives, so negative 2 Put 2 negatives here. And then this 5 is also negative because of the minus sign. So I'm going to draw 5 more negatives underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. My next step would be to look for 0 pairs, which I don't have because everything is a negative. So I'm done. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything was negative, so my answer is negative 7. So up here, 4 minus 8 was negative 4. Negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7. All right, just a couple more. We have negative 4 plus 9. Negative 4 plus 9. You notice here there are no signs touching, so I don't have to do my triangle. I can just draw it. The 4 was negative, so I draw 4 negatives. The 9 was positive, so I draw 9 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now I look for 0 pairs, which I have a couple of them. 4. So those cross off, getting me 0. And then what's left is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Everything was positive, so my answer is positive. You shouldn't be left with positives and negatives. You're either going to be left with all positives or you're going to be left with all negatives, and that tells you what your answer is. So negative 4 plus 9 equals a positive 5. And here is our last one. Last one is negative 3 minus a negative 3. Negative 3 minus a negative 3. So just like on examples 1 and 2 up here, we have these two signs that are back to back. So I'm going to circle them, use my triangle, and I realize that 2 negatives actually make a positive. So these 2 are gone, leaving me with a plus sign. And then this 3 was negative. This 3, the sign is gone, and I now just bring down the number, and I have negative 3 plus 3. Now I'm going to model it. So my first number was negative 3, so I draw 3 negatives. My second number was a positive 3, so I draw 3 positives. And then look for your 0 pairs, which all cancel out, leaving me with nothing, so my answer is 0. So negative 3 plus 3 equals 0. And that's it, guys. It's really simple. Like I said, today on your iExcel, you're going to be given the model only, and you're going to have to identify what would be left over after you cross them off. They're not going to cross them off for you. So you're just looking for those 0 pairs and then seeing what's left. It's all going to be visual. If y'all have any questions while you're working, please feel free to contact me on Zoom. I'll have it open for the good part of the day, with the exception of lunch and my PLC that I have every day with the other math teachers. But anyway, it's open. I'm available if y'all have any questions. Don't hesitate to ask, please. If not, y'all have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.